You woke up today, didn't you? You opened your eyes to a brand new morning, a fresh chance to breathe, to smile, to live. Isn't it incredible? Think about it. Out of billions of people, you're here right now with this moment ahead of you. But let me ask you something. How are you spending it? What are you living for? Too many of us wake up with the same routine, the same doubts and the same fears as yesterday. We tell ourselves maybe tomorrow will be different. But what if tomorrow never comes? Let me tell you a story. I was born without arms or legs. Every day I woke up to a world that reminded me of what I didn't have. Kids pointed at me. Adults pitied me. I stared at my reflection asking, why me? Can you imagine the weight of that question? Maybe you don't have to imagine. Maybe you've asked the same thing, but for different reasons. Maybe your pain isn't on the outside where others can see it, but it's just as heavy. But here's what changed everything for me. It wasn't a miracle that gave me arms and legs. It wasn't someone telling me, Nick, you're fine the way you are. No, it was understanding that my life, this fragile, imperfect, extraordinary life, is a gift. And not just any gift. A gift with a purpose. Look, I know life gets hard. Some days feel like mountains too steep to climb. But let me tell you something that I learned in the middle of my darkest days. You were made for this moment. You were created on purpose, for a purpose, for a purpose. God didn't make a mistake with you. Do you hear me? Let that sink in. He didn't make a mistake with you. I used to think I had nothing to offer this world, no hands to hold, no feet to walk. But do you know what I discovered? That my life isn't about what I don't have, it's about what I do with what I've been given. And so is yours. The question isn't, why don't I have more? It's what am I doing with what I already have? Right now, as you're listening, maybe you feel stuck. Maybe life hasn't turned out the way you dreamed it would. Maybe the weight of your struggles has you thinking, what's the point, friend? I want to speak directly to your heart. The point is this: you're alive, you're breathing, you have today, and today isn't just another day to get through. It's a chance to start over, to step into the purpose God has for you, to love deeply, to serve boldly, to live fully. I don't know what your challenge looks like. I don't know the pain you're carrying, but I know this pain isn't the end of your story. Let me say that again. Pain isn't the end. It might be the chapter you're in, but it's not the book. When you give your life to God, He takes those broken pieces and makes something beautiful out of them. He doesn't waste your struggles. He uses them to grow you, to strengthen you, to inspire others through you. I know this to be true because I've lived it. The world sees me as a man without limbs, but let me tell you what God sees: a man who can speak, a man who can love, a man who can encourage. And so I do. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. I don't need arms to embrace my purpose. I don't need legs to run toward the life God has for me, and neither do you. You don't need everything to be perfect to make a difference. You don't need a flawless past or a clear path ahead. You just need to say, here I am, God. Here's me, and He will. He will meet you where you are and take you where you're meant to be. So let me ask you again, what are you living for? Is it success? Comfort? Approval? Let me tell you something I've learned. None of that will satisfy you. Not really. Because you weren't created for a life that's easy or comfortable. You were created for a life that's meaningful, a life that points others to something bigger, a life that says, I'm here for a reason and I'm not wasting it. You might think, Nick, I don't have the strength for that friend. You don't have to. That's the beauty of God's grace. He takes your weakness and fills it with His strength. He takes your fears and turns them into courage. He takes your ordinary life and makes it extraordinary. Every breath you take is a reminder that your story isn't over. Every heartbeat is a call to keep going. Don't wait for tomorrow to start living with purpose. Don't wait for everything to fall into place to start making an impact. Life is short. Don't waste it chasing things that won't last. Live for what matters. Love the people around you. Serve the God who created you. And do it today. You know, people often ask me, Nick, how do you stay so positive? How do you keep going when life is so hard? And here's what I tell them: I don't look at what I've lost. I look at what I've been given. I look at the opportunities in front of me, not the obstacles. And above all, I look to God because I know He's the one who holds my future. What about you? Where are you looking? Are you looking at your failures, your regrets, your doubts? Or are you looking at the God who made you, the God who made you, the God who loves you, the God who has a plan for your life? Because where you look will determine how you live. If you focus on what you can't do, you'll never step into what you can do. But if you focus on God, on His purpose for you, on His power in you, there's no limit to what you can accomplish. I'm not telling you this because it sounds good. I'm telling you this because it's true. I'm telling you this because I've seen it in my own life and in the lives of countless others. When you live with purpose, when you live for God, when you decide to love and serve and give, something incredible happens. You start to see the beauty in every day. You start to find joy in the little things. You start to live fully knowing that your life is making a difference. So what are you waiting for? Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let doubt stop you. Step out in faith. Trust that God has you right where you need to be. And know that no matter what, He is with you. Hey, He sees you. He loves you. And He's not done with you yet. This is your moment. This is your life. Don't let it slip away. Live it boldly. Live it purposefully. And above all, live it for God. Because when you do, you'll find that the life you've been given, however short or challenging it may seem, is more beautiful, more meaningful, and more extraordinary than you could have ever imagined.